Getting through the pandemic has been difficult for everyone, but it feels light at the end of the tunnel. For women, they often face greater challenges trying to balance work, home, family life. We're talking about that with psychologist and life coach, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. First off, Dr. Bryant, welcome. We're all enjoying the sunshine.
Hello, Philip. Thank you for having me. It's finally a sunny, gorgeous day. We not only can get our vitamin D, but guess what? The sun is. It is an antidepressant. Since we're talking about mental health and how to keep this balance going.
And it's Friday. Is that like a double dose?
That's a triple dose.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, let's talk about how we say it's easy. You know, it's easy to say for women to make themselves a priority, take care of themselves. I mean, but sometimes that's just lip service. How do you actually do that for the woman in your household?
Absolutely. You know, this is the thing, Philip. We have to, as women, we have to do daily self-check-ins. It's so important to check in with ourselves daily. Why? So we can unload, right, that weight of the day. And tomorrow we can wake up recharged, renewed, and we can have a free, I say, cargo with nothing on it. And the thing about daily check-ins is, I always say, it's so much easier to prevent than it is to intervent. And what happens is daily check-ins help us prevent burnout, depression, anxiety, and having those nervous breakdowns that come from the imbalance of home and work. I mean, it's challenging. The other thing is, listen, measure your results. Studies show that productivity and positive results alleviate stress levels. So measure your results. Is what you're doing getting you that result that you want? If it is, keep it and run that play. If it's not, eliminate it, get rid of it, right? And the last thing is, ladies, we have to be okay with asking for help. We really do. There's so much power in asking for help and in receiving the help and being able to process and get ourselves to a place of peace and alignment and harmony. It is extremely empowering, and it helps us move on to the next thing and know that we can do this and that we have a support group, and help is something we have to be willing to ask for.
Okay, now you said a couple of things that jumped out at me. Number one, the check-in, and number two, asking for help. So as a father, as a husband who wants my wife to be healthy, who wants my wife to have, what should I do when I come home? The check-in, and then make sure I listen? I mean, what should men do to help their wives be successful?
That's easy, Philip. Be quiet, get us some dinner, run us some bathwater. No, but seriously, allow us to have the space to process. Allow us to have the self-care moments. Allow us to say, you know, we need maybe just a listening ear. It's not always about giving us guidance or providing solutions. Oftentimes, unloading means just that. It means allow me to express myself in the tone, in the deliverance, and in the space that I need to be in to process this thing so that I can produce something good in this household. I always say we got to process before we produce. And then we have resultful actions.
And from a man's perspective, I would say sometimes we try to fix things when really all we need to do is listen.
Oh, you guys are fixers. And let me tell you, we need an ear. When we call our girlfriends or we're in these women empowerment groups, all we're doing is unloading. All we're doing is processing. All we're doing is saying, this is how we feel about it. And you know, this is the thing. We have the answers within ourselves, Philip. We don't always need someone to say, go left, go right, or try this. We need you all, especially as partners, as men, to say, baby, I'm listening. And I'll be here for 10 minutes, or I can be here for an hour. But I hear you, and I support you, and it's okay. And show empathy and compassion that you are not judging her. She's in a safe space, and it's okay for her to not be okay. That's what's most important. Let us know it's okay to not be okay. We don't always have to be strong. We don't always have to have it together. That's where the burnout comes in at, when we cap off.
And before we go too far, I want to get back to how we help women feel empowered. What are you telling women? You know, we want to empower you. What advice would you give somebody to help them?
Number one, I always tell my clients we have one job. That job is to be happy. However, That happy job comes from surrounding yourself around people who celebrate you and not just tolerate you. It is extremely empowering when you have a tribe of people, family, friends, colleagues, neighbors, whatever that is, that empowers you. Another thing is get an accountability partner. Get someone that you text, you call, you talk to once, twice throughout the day, and you're sending out these positive texts or phone calls that say, hey, just thinking about you, I love you. Hey, I'm hoping you have the most amazing day today. Just so you know, I'm here if you need anything. And 10 times out of 10, you're going to get a response that's just as equally or more positive. That sets your momentum for the day. It keeps you surrounded by positivity, and you are also empowering somebody else. So it's a win-win situation.
And it is important for us to realize the hardest part of the race is when you get close to the finish line. Because look at what we've accomplished. Look at what the women in our lives have accomplished over this last year.
Oh, yeah. Women, listen, women are powerhouses. Women, we hold a lot more weight, and I'm not, beating up on you men, because I love you men as well, but we have to balance a lot more. And we have to allow other women and men to support us in that balancing act. And sometimes supporting us in that balancing act means I'm going to take off some of this weight, Philip, and I'm going to hand you some of it. And I'm going to be okay with doing that. And I'm going to look and check in with you and say, you got it. And you're going to say, I got you. And I'm going to feel empowered by your support. And then we have a team spirit. We all know, right? That you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go as a team.
Great advice. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, thank you so much. Hope you have a triple whammy today with the sunshine and the Friday and just feeling great about yourself. Thank you for helping us out today.
Thank you for having me, Philip. Have a wonderful weekend.
Oh, it is a weekend. It can't be bad.